Hello, Jennifer Worrell here with Genesis Yoga, Qigong, and Yoga Teacher. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch. Today we're going to practice a 30-minute hip opening sequence, and we're going to start with in a seated position. We can either sit on our heels. Ideally, I'm sorry I don't have any bolsters or props today, but that's okay. I'm going to offer some variations. So if you do have a pillow or a bolster, feel free to use that. You can either sit on it where your glutes and heels meet. Okay, you could sit here, or if it's more comfortable, you can sit in a butterfly position. And this is going to be 30 minutes, so I'm going to start the timer now to respect your time. And there's a couple variations here where your toes can be pressing against each other. The heels are together. You can bring your heels closer to your groin to open up the hips. Sorry, there's a fly here. And then you can just shake the knees out, bringing some energy here to the hips. And, or not, you can be still. It's really up to you. Keeping our back straight. There is a slight curve here in the spine. And crown of the head is towards the ceiling, or in my case, the sky. And my shoulders are melted back. Option to keep the palms on your knees, or you can keep them open to receive. Okay? Close your eyes or keep them open. Your choice. This is your practice. I am just here to offer some suggestions to help you open up your hips. This is a beginner yoga sequence. So let's just take a couple of moments, a couple of minutes, just settling in from the day. I will stop from time to time to look at the timer to make sure. I also have notes here so I don't skip anything. Setting your intention. Option to practice your favorite mudra, or as I mentioned earlier, palms up to receive. Any tension in the jaw or shoulder or neck region, option to relax that area, those areas. And being present. Acknowledging your breath, let's bring our knees together. Adjusting our sitting bones. And then slowly coming on to our hands and knees in a tabletop. Your hands are going to be open. Okay, fingers are going to be open, spread. Pressing into the mat, knees are hip width apart, and the tops of your feet are also facing downwards towards the mat. Opening up the back and the chest with some cat-cows, syncing your breath with your movement. Inhaling, looking up, opening up, reaching the shoulder blades together, and exhale, pressing crown of the head towards the mat. And a few more at your own pace. All right, very good. Bring the toes into the mat. And let's reach back, stretching our toes. That feels really good. Adjusting the hands where you need to. We're going to transition into a down dog. This is a great stretch for every area of your body. Walking the dog here. So your knees are bending. Move around where you need to. Neck opening up, whatever you need to do. Maybe you want to challenge yourself and lift up one hand, rotating your wrists. Raising the heels and lowering the heels. And we're going to start with the first sun salutation. Just sun salutation A. To warm up here, coming into a forward fold for starters, and then ragdoll, clasping our arms here, and then swaying from side to side. Again, crown of the head is towards the ground. Being gentle here with your movements. And then releasing your hands, inhaling all the way up nice and slow, and then bringing your palms together at the top of your inhale. Deep stretch, slight back bend if you'd like, and hands to heart center. Setting an intention or remembering your intention from earlier when we were seated. All right. If I'm a little cut off, I apologize. Reaching up. Inhale, upward salute. Exhale, forward fold. I'm just going to turn here since you can see me, going into a different pose. Inhale, halfway lift, fingertips on the mat, shoulders back. Exhale, bringing the hands down, and then let's bring one leg at a time into a plank pose as you exhale. Take an inhale here, and then exhale all the way down into Chaturanga. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhaling into upward facing dog, tops of the feet on the mat. And then allow your exhale to bring you into a down dog. Nice. Taking 2 breaths here. On your inhalation, lift your heels up and then walk or float to the top of your mat in a halfway lift. Exhaling into a forward fold. Inhaling all the way up into upward salute where we started. And then exhale, hands into prayer to the center of your chest. Okay. So we're going to start with a wide-legged forward fold. This also varies on your comfortability with how wide you like your legs. You can always bend your knees as you're coming down as well. Option to put blocks here for stability. And then your crown, the crown of your head meets the mat. I'm going to open my legs a little bit wider and then bring my head all the way down. That's my choice, but you don't have to do that. Again, this is your practice. Breathing here. Inhale, raising the body up. Option to bring your feet a little bit closer. And we're going to open up a little bit more by bringing our right hand to the center of the mat and then lifting our left hand up. If there's a block here, this is going to elevate you. If this is where you're comfortable, then stay here. You're just opening up the chest, bend your knees if you need to. Taking 2 more breaths. We're not rushing here. We're going to feel what's going on in each asana or pose. Exhale, bring the left hand down. Inhale, raise the right hand up, fingertips to the ceiling. Taking 2 breaths here. And then exhale, float the hand back down. So now you're still in a wide-legged forward fold. And you're going to take your right foot and point it towards the right. Inhaling the left hand up into a triangle. Option here to bring your hand to your shin, never pressing into the knee. Some people leave their hand out here. It all depends on what you're comfortable with. And looking up. Breathing, creating length, making sure that your hips aren't turned also. Be conscious of that, giving your legs stability, your body stability with the back leg here. So heel is down. Inhale, raise your body up. And let's bring our other toes back facing to me. And then the left toes are going to be facing that direction. Towards the left, triangle on the other side. Again, same thing, pressing on the shin. Using your body, this is great for balance as well. Always checking in with that back heel. Using this leg for stability. And also with yoga, you want to stay focused. And each side is going to be a little bit different. Exhale, float the hand down. Bringing the toes back to the center. Staying here in the wide-legged forward fold. Now we're going to take our right leg back and then bend it. Bringing our back heel further out, okay? So we're going to, it's an extended side angle. A block here would be ideal to, again, elevate you. There's options where you can rest here, bringing your upper arm over. So it's opposite. Normally I say this is my left, this is my right, but we're going to just do it's just opposite of me. So your right hand is resting on your knee isn't over your toe. And I'm going to open up my hips a little bit more and stretch outward. Inhale, floating the arms up, unbending your front knee, flipping the foot back, and same thing here. Extended side angle on the other side. Opening up the chest. Again, checking in that your leg is a 90-degree angle and you're not putting all your weight. You can feel comfortable enough. So use your legs for the stability. I'd prefer to go a little bit lower. Breathing here. And then exhale, float the arms up. Toes facing forward. Nice job. And we're going to do reverse triangle. So right toes are out. And then we're going to take our right arm over. Back heel is down. And toes are slightly in. This is great for the back and shoulders as well. Making sure that your shoulders are back. When you breathe in, you want to reach. And when you breathe out, you're going to settle in as much as you can. Take an inhale, reaching. And then an exhale, let's float into triangle. Again, seeing how that feels this time. Just 2 breaths here. And then exhale, let's float back up and do the other side. Reverse triangle. So now your left leg is straight, right leg is back. Hips are level. You're just going to take an inhale, reaching the left arm up. So the palm is facing the ground. Option to look down or up. It's really up to you. Inhale, reaching, and exhale, releasing. Also, to keep in mind that your right hand on your right foot, you're not putting any pressure on your knee. So if you have any knee injuries, it's okay to bend your knees slightly to also protect your back. Inhale and exhale, floating a triangle on the other side. Again, great for the hips. This is also nice for the hamstrings. And I didn't do this on the other side, but if you do feel good about opening up your chest a little bit more, you can always bring your arm behind you. And then release. Coming back here, taking it nice and easy into a wide-legged forward fold again. And now we're going to do lizard pose, okay, with the variation. So opening up, this is my right leg. So there's a couple of options here. You could put a blanket underneath your knee to protect your knee. And you can stay here in a low lunge. All right, that's one variation that you could try. Maybe loosen up the hip a little bit and go a little bit higher so your torso is higher. I prefer to sink more, so I'm working my psoas. I'm still working my hips. And then with lizard, again, I'm sorry that there's no blocks, but with blocks, I normally stack up the blocks, even a bolster, and I just rest here. And then I move my right foot further out towards the edge of the mat, and I open up the hip. Okay, so that's one variation. I'm a little bit tighter on the right than I am on my left. So I'm going to stay here for 3 breaths. And checking in with your body. Are you tensing in any area? This is not about tensing. This is about releasing. Breathe into the tightness. And then release here, and let's just sway from up to, up and back, okay? Opening up the hips here. Option to point your toes, so you're going to be stretching your hamstring. Very good. One more time. Taking an inhale here, creating length, fingertips. I mean, fingertips could be on your mat, or you can have blocks here as well and stay here. Some of us can move a little bit more forward. Checking in with your hips, looking back. Is the top of your foot on the mat? Some people like to keep their foot flexed to stretch their toes, but keeping the top of the foot down also gives you stability. Make sure your hips are level. Taking one more breath here. And exhale, release your foot back. And now let's work on the other leg. Okay, so now this is our left leg. Remember to start in a low lunge. Low lunge for the option, staying here. And then sinking forward. Again, great for the psoas. We're opening up the hip on the left. So this is lizard on the left side. So both hands are on the mat or on 2 blocks. Okay. So your left elbow should be right by your inner thigh. And then when you come down, it's closer to your knee. And then bring the foot to the edge of the mat, opening up the knee towards the left to feel that stretch. And since I'm a little bit more flexible on this side, I can actually go on my elbows and readjust where I need to. So that's a variation. And it's okay that your foot may come off the mat. This should feel good. This should not be painful. Taking one more breath here. And then coming back up on the exhale, Bring in the foot a little bit more center. So now we're back into a low lunge here. And then exhaling, bringing the glutes back to your back heel and forward. Again, blocks can be on each side to give you that leverage, not pushing yourself. Option to keep your toes up for the hamstring stretch. Exhaling as you go back, inhaling as you go forward. I'm bending my knee because it just feels a little bit different on this side. And then we're going to take an inhale, creating space here. Spine is long. And then we're going to exhale forward. I'd like to point my toe. Crown of the head moves forward. Taking a couple breaths. And then I'm going to release and go back on my knees. And let's do head to knee pose. So I'm bringing my right leg out. And the sole of my left foot is going to go on my inner thigh. Okay. So inhaling, reaching for the sky. And then exhale, turning the torso. Toes are facing up, and I'm reaching. So just where you need to. Blocks are great here, where you can keep the blocks here. Maybe you can put the block behind your foot. I'm at my mother's house in her backyard, so I didn't bring any of my props. Sorry. There's always next time. Let's take 3 more breaths. Easing into the body, easing into the breath. Inhale. And let's release and do the other side. So right foot now is tucked on the inner thigh of the left leg. Left toes are up. Glutes are on the mat, so they're not lifting. To protect your back, inhale, reaching up. Palms together as an option. Exhale, twisting to the left. Checking in with your glutes, adjusting where you need to, and then folding forward. So your chest is as in the center as it can possibly be on top of your thigh. Taking 3 breaths. It's great for the back as well, lower back region. And then inhale, bringing the torso up. And now let's bring the soles of our feet towards me. Just shake out your legs a little bit and then roll them from side to side, loosening up. And bring our right foot close to our heels. There's our right heel close to our glutes. Okay, this is one variation. We're going to just do a twist. Or you can bring your right foot over your left leg. Using your right hand to support you. Bring it back. Great for putting a block back there as well. Creating space. Bringing your crown of the head higher. You don't want to be tensing up your shoulders. Inhale, raise the left hand up. And then press it against your knee. And then look back. Look back with your right, over your right shoulder. Take 2 more breaths. Every time you inhale, go a little bit higher, reaching higher. And then you exhale and twist. Option to release your hand and get a deeper twist if that feels good for you. And then inhale, coming forward. And let's do the other leg. Same way, preferably. Left hand this time goes behind you to give you that support. Checking in with your glutes, making sure that they are on the mat. Inhale, reaching the right hand up. And then exhale, pressing it against the outside of your knee. Exhaling with a twist. This is great for our internal organs. Wringing things out. Pretend that you're a rag and you're just wringing out that excess water. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist. And take one more breath. And release, coming forward. And let's get ready for Shavasana. So with Shavasana, you're just going to slowly come down onto your mat. This is final resting pose, the best pose for self-awareness, the most important pose in any yoga practice. So if you need a blanket to cover you, do whatever you need to do to feel comfortable. Option to bring the soles of your feet together, how we started. And then your hands will be open towards the sky. Option to close your eyes and allow your body to completely relax. Giving yourself a body scan from the crown of your head to your eyes, your eye sockets, and your jawline. Float the tongue behind, or actually float your tongue to the roof of your mouth, to the back of your mouth. Adjust your shoulders and your arms. Feeling the energy running through you, allowing yourself to be in this moment. Recognizing your efforts, your torso and your glutes, your hamstrings, your calves, your feet, toes. Allowing your inhales and exhales to go at their own pace. Appreciating every breath. We're going to stay here for about 2 minutes. I have you covered. Staying awake as much as you can, just observing how you feel. Melting into your mat. Keeping your eyes closed if they are closed, slowly begin to wiggle your toes and your fingertips, allowing the body to subtly move, and then your ankles and your wrists, rotating them in circles if you need to. from one direction and then the other. And then your forearms and your shins, your quads and glutes, hamstrings, torso, and roll over to your favorite side. And let's meet in a seated position. Bringing the palms either to your knees or open to receive. I'd prefer to be in a prayer position. Observing how you feel from when you first started with me to now. And there's my timer. There we go, 30 minutes. Thanks so much for enjoying this beginner's hip opener practice, and enjoy the rest of your day. Namaste.